One that sticks out right now, I have a student who is going into his third year at Syracuse University. This student I met when I was actually a counselor for Liberty Partnerships. I met him in the 7th grade. He worked really hard in 7th grade, went on to McKinley High School in Buffalo, continued to come to the after-school component, worked really hard. His senior year, he was calling me to come during his winter break to work on college essays. So this is when school wasn't in session, and this kid was still persistent about getting into Syracuse. He had a goal in mind. He worked really hard. I tore up his essay a few times in editing. You know, we bumped heads a few times. He continued to work at it. He himself was persistent in calling the admissions counselor. The short of it is he got accepted into Syracuse University. He's on HEOP. Doesn't cost him a dime. He's doing well. As I said, he's going into his junior year. And one of the other things that makes it such a success story is that he wasn't discouraged because his SAT scores and his grades didn't necessarily match what their course booklet or their manual may have said. So he still knew he wanted to go. His grades were fair. His SAT scores were average. But I think he made an impression on admissions counselors by calling, by working on his essay, and he's doing well right now.
Success stories, we had one young lady who was became the valedictorian at Grady, and she was part of our Liberty Partnership program. She went on to do well in college. I don't recall, it's been long ago, but she was a primary candidate. We have a success story every year, in that the kids who tend to come to Kingsborough as well. There's a number of them that also follow that. You can't be in this business since I've been and not run into them, I know. And you run into them all the time, either from Grady or from Liberty Partnership, and they're always grateful to whatever the program did.
We have a young woman who just graduated from high school this past year. Her parents came from the Dominican Republic, and their education went as far as 8th grade and 4th grade. She's the oldest of 3, and she started her college career this fall at Harvard.
Wow.
So we're very excited about what she has done with these opportunities, and it's a great success story.
We had a young man probably 12, 14 years ago who was giving his parents gray hair, all of the administration at school, very benign, but he was terrorizing the neighborhood. We didn't know where he was going. Literally at times didn't know where he was. And he just plutzed along, but we did keep him in school. We got him through minimally. He did go to the local community college. And I had a knock on the door 3 years ago, and his mom comes in with a certificate. He was named Teacher of the Year.
Right now, I have someone who works for me that was in Liberty Partnerships, and she is just an unbelievable coordinator. She's very helpful to the students because she's been there. So that's a major success story. But you know, when I think success story working with these students, I just think about students that are willing to understand that we're there to assist them and follow the rules and guidelines in the program, and allow us to be influential in, you know, helping them to succeed. To me, that's what a success story is. It's not necessarily, you know, a title.
I've had students who have been through all sorts of situations with homelessness, being in shelters, having parents on drugs and all sorts of stuff, and to think that they could still manage to hang in there and succeed, that's just the best thing in the world. I don't know if I personally could be as resilient as some of these young people are, and the fact that they're able to survive and thrive and be well is just amazing. I'm so proud of them.
Well, the benefits are that many youngsters' needs could be satisfied. There are many youngsters who are not succeeding academically, and this program gives tutorial assistance. It helps them pass the new requirements for the regents, but it also gives other youngsters who just want to enjoy a college experience the opportunity to come on a Saturday and participate with us. Last year we had the pleasure of taking them on a number of trips through Liberty Partnership. We ran a summer program, and we had some funds to take them to the homes of Teddy Roosevelt, to Franklin Roosevelt, to almost just a great many museums in the city of New York, so that was a very rewarding thing as well.
They tie the community to the schools, to the institution of higher learning. And hopefully we form partnerships in the community and provide enrichment and learning activities and workshops for students grades 7 through 12.
Different things. I've had students who've been able to get employment through their participation in Liberty, working with a particular program. Someone sees them as a standout and says, hey, you know, I have an internship position available or something like that, and because they were a participant in the program and somebody there saw something special in them, they're able to get a job and be hired, and that's happened a couple of times also. So I think that's one of the benefits, just exposing them to different things.
We have the flexibility that a lot of other programs don't have because we're not income-based, and the students aren't mandated to be in the program. The way that we get students in the program is we'll contact them, we'll describe the program, and we ask them if they're interested in being in the program. In my opinion, that's one of the reasons why the program is very successful. But also, the people that work with these students develop these informal relationships, trust relationships. So the students are apt to tell us, you know, what we need to know to assist them or to refer them to professionals, other professionals they may need in order for them to succeed. So it's kind of like we're assisting these students without them realizing, you know, we're not in the schools as counselors, we're in the schools basically as confidants, and so they're willing to express things that they may not to someone, you know, with a specific title.
We provide a number of support services to students, academic support, mentoring. We provide cultural enrichment to these students, and it's not just academic support, but we would like our students to be well-rounded in their lives, you know, all around.
Seeing the bond between brother and sister. Shaquille has also invited several of his classmates to join our program, which is the highest compliment that anyone could pay LPP, is when students actually help to recruit their friends to the program. So he is the face of LPP. I'm the old version, this is the young version.
LPP as an entity, to me, represents optimism and hope for the students in the program. Very often, the students have great potential, but perhaps because of their environment, their upbringing, any number of factors, they don't see themselves excelling. They don't see themselves pushing beyond their own close limits. And I see the LPP offering options and hope for the students.
So many opportunities for optimism. The kids today have all kinds of new ideas, different ways of doing things. I've never grown tired of working with kids and thinking about the future.
When I got an opportunity to work with the Liberty Partnership Program, I was really excited. I reached the end of 10 years at where I had been. I knew it was time for change. I was excited and looking for a different path. And the idea of really working with kids at an 8th grade level, at a high school level, looking at pulling out their strengths, drawing on their strengths, and implementing programs that are going to help them graduate and succeed just excited me.
Just how important it is to work with students and to offer that mentoring capability or just make them aware of what careers are available?
The Liberty Partnership Program is the essence of access to success. It's the essence of that because we're dealing with the at-risk population. And in our program, we don't take those students who could be considered at risk simply because they have some negative peer pressure. We take students who are difficult cases, and we've seen evidence of turning them around.
I think, like I've said before, Liberty has had a huge impact in my life, and if it wasn't for Liberty, I wouldn't be sitting right here today. I wouldn't have gotten through high school. My situation would have swallowed me whole. I wouldn't have gone on to graduate with a bachelor's in college and become successful in the workplace and have the opportunity to come back and continue helping those people who helped me so many years before. I can't even imagine where I'd be today.
For my future.
For my future.
For our future.
For our future.
For our future. For our future. For our future.
For my future.
For our future.
For our future. For our future. For our future.